What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Abdu? And how are you doing? Don't smoke.
I'm good, man. Things are happening, Abdul.
Things are happening, bro. Things are happening. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. I'm chilling, frustrated with the weekend's result, but we move.
Why?
How you
What?
doing,
What?
Patrick?
What did you think you're going to easily like just beat teams now?
No, but I expect better performances. Like our front three, they lack chemistry. They didn't play good, bro. We didn't play good. We struggled to connect. The midfield didn't connect with our attack. Um, and we struggled. We struggled, but I mean, it's the first game, man. It's the first game, and we'll see. It's a long season, man. How you doing, Patrick?
Nah, man, I'm
Ah,
good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm enjoying myself. I have no complaints from my team. That we're two games in, two W's. Um, Obviously, I decided to say, you know what, let me talk about Barcelona because a lot of us have been questioning Barcelona, and every day you surprise us because for the past months or years, like since last year, we've been hearing you guys are broke. Yeah, like you have
Mm,
no money. Yeah,
mm.
and then you did that live chat where you're getting super chats, which we all laughed at. But quite quite funny enough, you guys have managed to finesse Chelsea multiple times. You guys have managed to buy players like Frank Kessie, obviously he was free.
Yeah,
Christensen, I don't know if he was free. You've bought Rafinha for about 65 million. And then now you were hunting for Bernardo. Obviously, right now is when we found out that Bernardo. Sorry, there's somebody ringing the bell. Obviously,
yeah,
the
yeah,
postman. So all I wanted to ask is, I'm gonna ask more things. There's more stuff that's more people who are coming in. There's Carl coming in, but I wanted to ask you as the guy who's gonna answer allegations today because Anthony is chickening out. He's
yeah.
working. So how are you managing all this? I know you've sold your TV rights, but why are you guys going to the extreme? Wouldn't you relax first? Because I thought you're gonna just use the academy players for the meantime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions out there, bro. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you because not only is there a lot of misconceptions out there, there's also a lot of people who talk from a place of jealousy, from a place of anger, from a place of hate. Because a lot of people like you, Patrick, they've been hearing the same things that you've been hearing. So they've been thinking we're finished, bro. But an institution as big as Barcelona, it will never be finished. And the only thing that was really holding us back was never the fact that we didn't have money. Because, Patrick, you have to understand that when you are as big a club as Barcelona, you can get money. You can get money no matter what because everybody is willing to lend you money because you have so many assets. You feel me? The thing with Barcelona is, and the reason why a lot of people they have this big misconception that last year Barca couldn't afford to keep Messi, but that wasn't the issue. The reason why we had to let go of Messi is because of the financial fair play. So the financial fair play in Spain it says you're not allowed to have more than 70% of your revenue going to wages. So your wage bill, it can maximum take 70% of your revenue. When Laporta took over last year, the big problem was he inherited a wage bill that was over 100% of our revenue. So when he came in, we couldn't do anything in the market because financial fair play restricted us to do anything. So it was never an issue of having money because, bro, Barcelona, they'll always generate money. So it's not about not having money, it's not being able to spend money. That's the big misconception. Is the big misconception. And it's the same reason why I know we'll go on to Bernardo Silva, but I don't think we can get Bernardo Silva not because people also have to understand that when you sign somebody, Patrick, you know this as well. When you sign somebody, like say you sign somebody for 50 million, you're not paying 50 million that summer. You're just not. You're paying maybe like even for Ferran Torres, we signed him in January. We paid 10 million for him in the summer. So we've only paid 10 million for him, and we paid it 6 months after. So people have to understand that you can structure deals in ways where you're actually not paying it all up front at once. but it is true. Like we have had a lot of financial issues, bro. But you have to understand that a lot of people they comment on the risk because there's a risk attached to it because you're selling assets to fund transfers. But Patrick, you have to understand that we've sold assets and raised 700 million. We've raised 700 million. How much have we spent on transfers?
Not much yet. But wait. But I thought you guys were in debt. Or am I getting this wrong? So are you not supposed to pay back your debt? And another thing I can ask you, and don't smoke. You can be jumping on here. You don't be silent in the back. What I'm trying to understand, I'm asking from my part. That's why I wanted the Barcelona fans to come on. It's good you came on. You guys are in debt, right? And other thing I wanted to say is, why don't you sort out your finances? That's why I thought you're going to be playing kids, sorting out everything. You take that heat that, okay, you know what? But I know what you're trying to do. Obviously, you're trying to win trophies so more money can come in. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. But
the
Patrick, the big misconception is that we have sold these assets, but most of the money from these assets is going to the debt. People think that all the money we've got from the assets is just gone to transfers. That's not true. It's just not true. And like people, they just don't like to think because they have agendas. You feel me? And I see the formidable Centurion saying, "BS, we don't like how you operate." And I don't like how you operate as City fans. See, I don't like how my City operate. But that doesn't stop you from operating that way. You feel me? So, like when we talk about like, that's preference. But like the thing that has been raised this summer is whether what we're doing is legal or not. Because Patrick, you know as well, we've been accused of being corrupt. Correct? We've been accused of being corrupt. The one thing I want to emphasize when you ask me, is this not a risk to sell assets? You know, is it not a risk? Because it is a risk. But let me ask you a question, Patrick. Is it not also a risk to have a crap team and to think that we can fill up the stadium week in, week out and go far in the Champions League? Is that not also a risk? Is it not also a risk not to invest in the team and expect the team to do well? So either way, it's a risk. And we've chosen one of the risks, which is invest in the team, because let's be honest, Patrick, if we want to continue being attractive to sponsors, we have to have a good team. We have to have a good team, Patrick.
Yeah, you were gonna just let Barcelona go ahead.
Right. I think the thing though is most fans don't have an understanding of how clubs are run. Right. I think that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to when you talk about finance. The truth is most clubs run on debt. Because the thing is this, you make deals based on forecasted income, money that you haven't received yet, that you plan to get. Right. So it's more like beginning of the season. Let's say, for example, you know that you're gonna have Champions League, right? Champions League for that season. First thing that gets you is you get sponsors who are willing to come on board because they know that there's potential income. It's not income that's there yet, but there's potential income. Same thing with transfers. Most transfers are structured just like buying a house or a car. Not everyone buys a house or a car cash, right? You have an upfront payment that you make, right? Which is your starting deposit, which is normally the biggest amount you're gonna pay, right? Which same thing even with a transfer. You decide how much you're gonna pay upfront. Since you can have two clubs who both want to buy the player, but one offer is better than the other, and people are confused like, but aren't they offering the same amount of money? It's like no. One may offer a better structure of how they're gonna pay for the transfer than the other club. Where they're like, okay, we're gonna pay a big sum up front, but then the rest will be in small installments. Compared to another one saying, you know what, we'll even pay more, but we'll pay you in chunks, right? So another thing with Barca is not that Barca's issues is got nothing to do with them being broke. It's the rules that La Liga has set up, whereby in order to try and balance out the scale across the whole league, they're like, no, we're not gonna allow teams, because before I think there was a time whereby when Messi was still there, 100% of the income was going straight to wages. That's
Even
because of
even,
the
even
previous
more, actually, even more, because you have to understand what happened. Before the pandemic, it was still an issue slightly, but after the pandemic, it messed up completely. Because what happened during the pandemic was our revenue, it fell drastically, but our wage bill, it was still the same. You feel me? So the proportion, according to FFP, it completely messed up, and we couldn't do anything in the market. And the problem with Barca is they had gone so long without proper investment in the team. Patrick, and Don Smoke, it doesn't take a genius sometimes to figure out the problem. Can you tell me one player in the last 6 years that Barcelona have signed that have went on to be a success? You can't name me one.
Not man. This man didn't work out. Dembele didn't work out. What's that guy from? Is it Marco, the guy from the Brazilian guy, or the one who was supposed to go to Roma and he decided to?
Marco.
Yeah. So him,
Yeah.
like there was a time in Abdul where you guys were signing. I don't know. Don't smoke. Remember, these guys were signing as if it's just Christmas. Like
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, but I think
that's
it was
something.
more.
How come nobody was checking you? Like La Liga is checking you now. How come that time they're not checking you at all?
But that wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't how much money we were spending on the transfers. The problem was how much we were giving them in wages. That was the problem.
Yeah. Not only that, Abdul, I think the other issue was Barca not winning, right? Because the thing is this: there's one thing that balances your books, especially when you spend, is winning, right? Because then it increases your revenue, which can allow you to have a bigger quota. Because the thing is this: let's say, for example, we're winning, so 200 million, for example, is coming in per season, but our wage bill is 100 million. At that point, it's 50%, right? But the moment now we stop winning, and now instead of us bringing 200 million, we're now bringing 120. Then it has dropped from 50%. It has increased from 50% to closer to 100, just by us not being able to balance that. So that's another whereby they were spending without bringing back that revenue. And now the thing is this: people slate Messi for Messi brought in more than he spent. That's what people don't get, especially in sponsorships. And Messi brought in more than he spent. The moment Messi leaves, all that money as well goes with him.
No, but I disagree with you slightly, Don't Smoke, on both points that you actually made. The difference between winning and not winning isn't actually that big, especially not in La Liga. Barca finished second, 15 points behind Real Madrid last season. I don't know if you know this, Patrick.
Yes, I know, and you're not. The funny thing is, this is where people should be scared of Barcelona right now, because you finished second with the team that was shit. No offense, like it was a team that was being like you were putting plasters. You know what I mean? Aubameyang was a plaster. What's his name? That guy, Adama, Mr. Lotion, was a plaster. So you guys managed with a backline of Eric Garcia, who's one of the worst defenders. No offense.
Long way.
Yeah, in the back. Now you've got Christensen, and now you've got Kunde. So, yeah, you're right. You finished second with a shit team. So,
but that's not my point
right now.
You call me off.
Go ahead.
My point
go ahead.
Yeah, my point was Barca finished second last year, but they made more money from La Liga than Real Madrid, who finished first. Why? Yeah. Because La Liga is structured in a way where Barca and Madrid, they make most of the money. That's just how it is. We make most money. Yeah. And Barca made more money than Real Madrid because we were viewed more than them. Very simple. If you go and look the top 5 most viewed games last season in La Liga, Barca won all of them. 2 of them were the El Clasico. 15 out of the top 20 most viewed games had Barcelona in it. It's interesting because even though they call Real Madrid the biggest team, biggest club in the world, people are not really interested in watching them. Because Barcelona with Eric Garcia and Roberto, they were watched more than them, which is interesting to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yes. Abdul, I think let me put clarity in winning, right? The thing is, winning here is not only about trophies, right? Yes. For certain teams, getting a Europe spot is winning because of how much money they're going to make the next season just for participating. Same thing. Let's say, for example, last season, Barca didn't make Europe. Bro, that's a dent in even the loans you can take. It's a dent as well in the sponsorships you're gonna get next season.
Yeah,
so
that's why Dortmund was in the mud when it came out of the Champions League and they didn't make it, isn't it? They were in the mud and they were struggling.
Yeah, look at Leicester. Leicester in trouble now because
I agree. But the thing that my point was that, of course, if you're winning, you're probably filling the stadium up more. More people are watching, more people are buying, more people are engaging. I agree with that 100%. But the big issue that Barca had, and the reason why it unfolded and everything came crashing down in the last couple of years, it's because of COVID. Yeah. COVID, it ruined everything. It ruined everything because our wage bill was so high, but it was high because our revenue was massive. I don't know if you know this, but Barca were the first team ever to break 1 billion revenue 2 years in a row.
Wow, serious?
Yeah, 1 billion revenue.
But was this the time you're with Messi, isn't it?
Yeah, with Messi.
I have a question for you, Abdul. Don't say Messi was making so much more than what he was receiving.
But there was an issue.
So why was he the first one out of the door?
Because his contract ran out. His contract ran out. So basically
want to renew it.
We had to renew it, and because of financial fair play, we couldn't renew it. But the point I was disagreeing with Don Smoke on is, yes, it's correct that Messi was bringing in more than what he generated. No, sorry, he generated more than what he was receiving. That's correct. But Messi, he ruined our wage structure. He did, because when you have a player receiving over 1 million a week, you can't go up to Suarez and give him 200K. You can't. You can't, because his output, as in some seasons, was similar to that of Messi's. So you have to.
Facts.
So in inflate, like, even average players, because of the overinflation of contracts, they got 300, 400, 500K. 300, 400, like average players. Like,
do you know what was mad? 890 or 800 something for Griezmann. What the hell? Who was handing out this?
But
it was mad, isn't it?
Abdullah's a point in the sense that
man is so used to a change. Don't Smoke. What has happened? We've just changed channels from True City Fan to Football Chillz now.
Patrick, okay.
Go ahead. Patrick, okay, I'll be HH Junior. Go ahead.
All right, correction, like Patrick. So the thing is this: Abdullah has a point in the sense that if you're going to prize a star of another team, right? He same thing with Grealish, right? Before we signed Grealish, right? He was about to get a new contract at Villa, which was going to make him the highest paid player there, right?
He received it though. The moment he received 260 or something.
Yes, you understand? They were willing to break their wage structure for him. So when you bring him on board, you need to give him something similar, right? You can negotiate. Same thing with Griezmann. At Atleti, he was well paid there, and they were willing to give him a better contract. So if you bring him over, you can't be like, hey, bro, like, you're not Messi, so you have to go on 200K. No,
but 800 was mad. Where was 600? Where was like you know what? Like that's what when I saw Barca's structure, I was like 800 for Griezmann. I know, look. It was Griezmann. That time he was on fire. But 800 is next level. That time Griezmann was getting 800, while Neymar and them were still making 6. You know that, right?
6.
And them guys, Mbappe. So I know the guy who was given the contracts, obviously, but what I want to know is why I want to dig down for you, Don and Abdul, if you can give me a sort of insight, is what were they thinking that time? Was it just we want to just get as many stars as we can? Because you guys were moving mad.
Yeah.
As I said, you even bought other players, and you might know, I think those other random players, but you quietly sent them on loans. But you were buying,
they bought Trincao, they bought Gomez, they bought so many people, man.
What about that guy who was the money laundering guy? What's his name? Is it Porinho? Porinho. Oh my God. Is it Porinho? What was his name? Porinho, something, the Brazilian.
Yeah,
the guy you kept on buying, selling.
Yeah,
that was corruption, literally, because of the club which he came from, right, in China. Bartomeu had shares there. He had like interest in that club, so that was some brown envelope
Wait.
I don't.
So I was right. What was happening then was a bit corrupt, isn't it? Because they
Yeah,
bought him and
yeah,
sold him,
yeah.
bought him and sold him, and recently, when you guys were in the mud, they were saying they're bringing him back again. I was like, no, not again, please, not again. Welcome to the games. Welcome to the games. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. I want to talk some football.
Yeah, no. Welcome, man. You haven't missed much. It's a good thing that we've got Abdullah here because he seems like he came with so much smoke and research. He came to answer his allegations. So, do you have any questions to ask him since he's here as a Barca fan? Go ahead.
Is it silver related? Is it silver related?
How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna wait for that.
How do you hold that this morning?
Bro, I didn't hold anything, bro. Unless Romero says it's done, then it's done, bro. I believe Romero more than my mom, bro.
Oh my God! Do you know where it started? It all started when somebody reliable wrote that thing saying he's buying a house. So I was like, that sounds like somebody wants to start a family in Manchester. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know when football players move out of the flat and buy a house like Gundogan. Like he got married. Ake bought a house, moved out of his flat, got her pregnant, got married. There's something. I think they were cheering him, Abdul. I don't know if you watched the City game for 20 minutes, singing his name the whole time. Yeah. So I think maybe it touched the nerve, But I am still not 100% because that document says this season, focused this season. It didn't say focused on City. It said focusing this season. So I'm still iffy, but it's a debut we're gonna take shamelessly. So Veta, what question do you have for this Barcelona fan, Abdul? By the way, Abdul, did you tell these guys that you're on loan to Man City last season?
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
I wanna. It's not so much a question, but I've heard this a few times with regards to Messi, and I think when you have strong figures in your boardroom, and when you have strong figures, even with regards to manager, you can say this is my star, and this is why he's getting paid what he's getting paid. Because I was listening earlier when you were talking about the wage structure and what comes in, what comes out. A lot of these TV deals, a lot of these sponsorships, a lot of whatever you're able to leverage financially is because of the interest and attention that Messi gets. So if Messi's going to be the highest paid and he's going to be at whatever said number because of what he brings in, no, you're not going to have a Suarez. You're not going to have whoever's next to him being like, I want close to Messi numbers. I want close to Messi's salary. No. When you have the strength in management and you're going to hold true to what makes sense business-wise, you avoid this dilemma that they're in now, where they need to pull levers and make things happen.
They didn't have that though. They didn't have the strength. They had cowards running the club.
Fair.
And that's the one thing I'll never defend Bartomeu. The only thing I'll defend is what the club is doing now to recover.
The goat. But the goat.
What I'm doing now, I'll defend what the current board are doing to repair the damage that was done by the previous board. The whole pulling of levers is taken very much out of proportion. Like, we've sold 25% of our La Liga TV rights. People acting like we sold half our club. You do know 25% of our La Liga TV rights, it accounts to 6 to 7% of our total revenue. 6 to 7% of our total revenue. It's 40 million a year. And of course, that can vary depending how much your total revenue is from year to year. But the other thing we sold is Barca Studios. That's our NFT project. It's our metaverse project. People acting like we're selling our crown jewels. It's so taken out of proportion. Of course.
Abdul, did you just shamelessly drop metaverse here?
It is, but that's what it is. But you know,
it is. I know. But...
You know what feeling? You know what feeling I get from the whole levers talk. And if you know me, when it's chill moments, I tend to be an analogy guy. We've all played Monopoly.
Yeah.
You know when you get late in the game, and everybody seems to have their positions, and there's Death Alley, and there's some.
Yeah, so you said. Yes.
So what I'm feeling right now.
Be like, I'll give an effort just to stay in the game.
Just to stay in the game. It seems like some of these levers are just like, yo, I just need a little more cash just to get through this. So
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that it's going to work out because I think Barca's so big in terms of the interest that you talked about earlier. But it is interesting to see how they do it, because not every club could be doing these levers and these, selling off of assets like a Barca.
Yeah, of course, because the one thing you have to understand is that we have to have bids, we have to have offers, we have to attract investors. Not everybody wants to invest. This is why like the whole thing. We've all seen it that Barca might not exist in 2 or 3 years. Why are
that was one of my things to ask you. That as a Barca fan, are you not scared that things might go to shit? Because don't forget the Leeds United owner says if you don't pay them by the 2nd of September, there's smoke.
But the thing is, why would investors be investing for 25 years if we weren't gonna exist in 2 or 3 years? You feel me? Like, where is the sense? Like, have they not seen? Like, before you invest in something, you're presented with all the numbers, all the relevant numbers. So you're telling me that 6-3, these guys invest like billions on billions. Like, these are serious.
Shout out to Spotify too. Spotify,
yeah.
You guys.
I
stopped listening to music on Spotify when you guys are talking. Go ahead. Spotify, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that you're telling me these firms, they would be investing all this money if there was a chance that we weren't going to exist in 2 or 3 years. Like if you use common sense, you'll find a lot of answers. You feel me? But
I don't think so, man. I think there's a lot of calculated risks here being taken. It's so much like a crypto thing, whereby your guys are playing with house money right now, right? Don't think like there's anything. don't think there's anything that's alluring, guys. No, right now you guys are banking on the brand of Barcelona. That's what people are. There's not this, because there is no assurance that Xavi will even win Copa del Rey. There isn't, right? So it's more like, okay, this is a household name. They've survived the test of time, so there's a high probability, right? It's not. There's a probability and there's a possibility, right? So those are two separate concepts.
But let me ask you one thing. Don't smoke. Before taking any risks in life, you always ask yourself, what's the alternative? What's the alternative? And in this situation, what is the alternative? Because if you don't invest, if you don't activate these levers, and you keep the massive short-term debt, which have to get refinanced, which have big interest payments every year, and you have a team that is not functioning, because remember, Dembele was going to leave if we didn't renew him, and without Dembele, we don't finish top 4. We don't finish top 4 in La Liga last season. I'm telling you.
I thought you were about to say that Dembele, we don't win the La Liga. I was like, this guy never shows up. He only shows up for vacation time.
Yeah, but it's just the whole risk, like, what is the alternative? Yeah.
Abdul, can I ask you a question? Did your guys indefinitely sell your rights or for a period of time? Like, lease them?
The TV rights is 25 years, but it's with a buyback clause. So we can buy them back if they increase by 6 to 8% over the period. Or if we can, I think that's one of the clauses in it. And the Barca Studios is permanent.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, before anyone says anything, let me go in the comments. I have been interested, because I've been very interested to hear what Abdul was going to say to defend his club, because we're just about to ask him that. Is it true that you receive super chats? But anyway, let's go to Doug out. Football says, good vibes, mate. Good vibes to you, man. Go and subscribe to Doug. Big up to you, Danielle. Big up to Football Meat. How you doing, man? Big up to Smoke and Abdul, Paddy Lad. How you doing, Factos, man? How you doing? Another one, he said, Barcelona interested in signing Bernardo Silva, is open to move. Charlie, nah, that's dusted. That's done and dusted. We're done with that.
I mean, is he living on the internet?
Can I comment on that, man?
Yeah, go ahead, comment on the Bernardo Silva, because some people are still stuck. Some City fans still think the deal is happening this summer, even after the reliable sources spoke.
As long as De Jong is at the club and he's not leaving, like I don't know if you heard this, but his agent was in Barca and he refused to meet with the club. He refused to meet with the club. So if De Jong, because we haven't registered Koundé yet, bro. We haven't
Wait,
signed.
don't you owe him money? Don't you owe Dion money, like 17 million
I mean,
or something?
we owe him money, but not right now. Like his contract is structured in a way where he's set to receive the money in his wages, in a wage increase from next year. So yes, we owe him money, but not right now. But that's not the issue. The issue is he doesn't want to leave. He's settled in Barcelona. He just bought a house.
Why would you like? Look, this is what I'm saying. As soon as look, guys, this is what I've noticed. These football players, when they buy a house, when they just buy a house, just know there's a family coming in or getting married. They either get married. Just watch it. RK, everybody, even other football players, Ozzy and them. Ozzy just bought a house. Immediately he was married. Like everybody gets married when they're about to settle, when they buy a house. Because you don't just buy a house just for the sake of it. What are you gonna be doing in all that house? They're gonna have kids. That's the next thing. That's the next stage. But, so Frankie De Jong, I saw him like he was at like I don't know if he was getting married or something. Like he had very nice romantic pictures during this one. He looks like he was settled. So do you think he will move to that dusty place at Old Trafford that is being painted by cheap ass paint? No. So what we're about to say, don't smoke on Bernardo, because I see some City fans still don't get that Bernardo might actually be staying this season, maybe next summer, but for this season he's staying put.
I don't think it's more of him. The thing is, we just want to get over and done with it, right? I don't want this whole saga again. Beginning of next summer, we're going through the same shit again of will they bid, will they not bid? Like if you're gonna, that's why I've always appreciated Pep's stance of if a player wants to leave, they can leave, because we don't want that tension, unnecessary tension, confusion, whatnot, because it also affects the club's plans. Because the thing is this, right? Let's say you want to not plan for life after Bernardo, but there's a lot of question marks over Bernardo. It's like, okay, that delays whatever decisions you're gonna make. Let's say, for example, now there's a good opportunity in the market whereby a player becomes available, but now you can't act because you don't know how long this guy will stay in, and you know he's at the door. It's like at any moment, because the thing is this: there's nothing. Even if he buys a house, but then he's gonna go next season, then it's like, dude, why buy the house? Because next season we're gonna be in the same dilemma again. We need a replacement. We now have to go to SofaScore, compare players, technical. No, like, dude, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we want.
How old is Silva now? Is he 28?
No, he's 28. He's 28 years old now. He's 28. This is the age where they settle, Abdullah. Most of them get married at this age.
I don't think Barca will come in for him next year.
Why? Because he'll be because he'll be 29.
If I may,
I think it is because Messi's coming back next summer.
Wow,
Patrick, if I may,
I saw reports. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I've said this many times. This is all what I call a money play by the agent. It's a money play by the agent. Right now, I can guarantee what's happening right now. They're preparing a contract for Bernardo for $300K next 4 years. That's what's going to happen. Just like we predicted this week, Beta and Don't Smoke, that this was going to end up this way. We told you that last week. We told you that this week a decision will be made. And here we are today, Tuesday. It's done. Just like we told you.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, he has 3 years left on his contract. Why would you be preparing a new contract?
Because he earns shit money.
He's outperformed his contract.
Well, Abdul, tell him how much everybody earns and how much Bernardo earns.
Bernardo Silva earns £150,000 a week. Jack Grealish earns twice what he earns. Phil Foden's contract is about to be increased to £250,000 a week. You think the agent won't agitate for more money? Hell no. Hell no. Bernardo 150 and Phil Foden is getting more than him? That's an abomination.
No, it is.
It's an abomination. So that's why we said from day one that Bernardo was not going to go. This is all agent play to make sure this guy gets a contract that he deserves, and rightly so.
I disagree. I think there was genuine interest from Barca, bro. I think there was genuine.
Don't get me wrong. There was interest in Barcelona. There's no doubt there was interest. But the problem was it was never going to happen. Now, here's my problem with Barcelona, right? My problem is that if Barcelona really wanted Bernardo Silva, he was the cherry of the apple. He was the ice cream of the sundae, right? He was the guy. Why have 3 leavers and get fucking Frank Kessie? And you get Christian.
Hey, he was free. Relax.
please, okay, who and you get Christensen, who Chelsea rejected and don't want. Why not take all that money and say, but Bernardo, you are our number one pick. We want you July 1st. Here's the money. We get you in. And the reason why I talk about this guy is that you guys, Barcelona fans, need to hold Laporta accountable. The games that he's playing with you guys, hold him accountable.
For what?
Right? If you wanted Bernardo Silva, why didn't you get him in July?
Because he's not a priority, bro. Midfield isn't a priority for us, brother.
Frank Kessie is a priority?
No, but Frank Kessie was an opportunity because he was on a free signing. We signed Kessie like back in February, bro.
So Rafinha is a priority?
Yes, he's a priority because Dembele was looking like it was unsure whether he was going to stay.
And Adam was going back to Wolves. Adam was going back to Wolves.
Then you signed Dembele again. Then
I'm telling you, he was unsure whether Dembele was going to stay. And anyway, Dembele, he's injury prone. We needed somebody there, bro.
Silva's played on the wing. Silva's played on the wing before.
I'm saying
but then you have Ansu Fati.
The thing is this: if for example, Bernardo was a realistic target, I see us negotiating with Barca for a swap deal with Frankie De Jong. That's going to be the reality. The fact that City wasn't in, it's like they knew from the start that this is just a power play, right? Because at the end of the day, Pep wanted De Jong before he went to Barca.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things here, right? When Guardiola comes out in a press conference, right? Check this out. And says to everyone, the whole world, that I love this guy. He makes me weak. I want him 110%. You really think that the board were going to sell Bernardo Silva when Guardiola just got those players he just got in with 2 weeks left to go? It was never happening, guys. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. If Bernardo Silva had been sold to Barcelona and we don't get a replacement, don't be surprised if Pep walks at the end of the season. It's never happening. And this has been my argument all the way along, right? This wasn't about what Bernardo wanted. This was about, can we get a replacement? How much time do we have? And at what price? And if FC Barcelona cannot get the price or get the timing right, this guy ain't going anywhere. Not with 3 years left on the contract.
Well, here is more foolishness from Duncan Castle. PSG are working on a deal to sign Bernardo Silva from City.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! This.
All I know is he's not coming to Barca, bro, because we have De Jong isn't going anywhere, and we can't register him even if we got him. Again, I don't think his fee would even be the problem because we know we can structure the deal with you after the Ferran Torres. Like the terms that you guys accepted for Ferran Torres is fucking ridiculous, man. Like the way you allowed us to structure that deal is crazy. Like.
The Ferran thing was, I think it benefited both parties because we got him for what, 18 million pounds, sold him for 50. I mean, it's profit. Profit is profit, right? The kid wasn't lighting up the place, and he's gone to Barcelona now. Doesn't even start, right? The question is, why even buy him in the first place? Because he likes the girl.
No, but that wasn't. We bought him thinking he was gonna be better than what he turned out to be, bro. Let's be honest. He hasn't lit up the place, but he's still young, so he can still develop. But I do think that for Barca, I think it's just they're focusing on fullbacks now. So I can't
focus on fullbacks. You have to focus on fullbacks.
We have no right back. We have no right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read it, guys. I'm gonna have to read these comments. Give me a minute because there's a lot of comments. Duncan Castle is usually very accurate, but I don't see.
Especially with Jorge Mendes clients because he's close to Mendes. So
yeah, he is.
Duncan Castle is very reliable. Hence, I agree with Gundo because
again, think about this, right? You think that it's what August 17th. We got what 10, 11 days left on the window that we're going to sell, but Bernardo Silva to Paris Saint-Germain.
To PSG. That's why now I'm starting to suspect the agent is whispering around, trying to get so we failed Barcelona. Let's try this. So let me read this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Backerman. Abdul, you're getting a hype and love from the people. Daniel, I told Silva would stay. Doug, I remember Doug said this. Apparently, I have seen breaking news that Barcelona and Barcelona are in negotiations for contract extension Like there's Daniel, I've seen that too just a few minutes ago. I just shifted my mic. It was actually the camera. Big up to Baka for terrorizing Chelsea this summer. I didn't see Eric much since. Where's Eric Romana? Abdul? Do you know Eric Romana, the guy who HH believes is that guy is a fraud. Eric, you're a fraud if you're watching this. Your fraudulence was too much. You promised us a lot, Eric. You promised us a lot. Patrick, what tell us up on YT from Man City official website? Revenue wages are right today. No, they're very good. For Meetables, Abdul was not going after our wages. He's talking about his own club. I see you having a back and forth there. Look, guys, Eric Garcia, thank God he went to Barcelona, and thank God Barcelona took him, to be honest. Thank God. So, Carl, Abdul is here, and he was explaining to us how his club is going to survive, because I was asking him that if your club wanted to survive, why didn't they just start fixing up everything, like the debts and everything, and just leave the team instead of trying to bring in big stars? But he said that they needed attractive players.
No, the reality is that Barcelona had to do what they had to do, and I get it. I get what they had to do. I get it. I talked about it before that they had to do what they had to do. They had to pull those levers, right? Sell parts of Barca Studios and future TV revenue sales because they needed the cash. My only problem is why borrow money from the future for Frank Kessie? Why? Why? If you had borrowed the money for the future and you had strengthened the squad and reduced the debt and you're winning and you're getting more revenues and building organically, I get that. That's fantastic. I just don't like you spending money on, Frank Kessie or Christensen. It's just like.
But you have to understand, my brother. First of all, Kessie and Christensen, they were opportunistic signings because they were both out of contracts. I know no player is free because there is always bonuses, sign-on bonus, this and that. But bro, like Christensen and Kessie isn't going to bring down Barcelona, bro. Like, people have to realize, again, I said this to Patrick and Don Smoke earlier. People have this misconception that we sold these TV rights just to buy players. We've signed for 100 and in euros, 150 million euros. We raised over 700 million. So a quarter of the money, not even a quarter of the money we raised has gone to transfers. The rest is going to paying off debts. So I don't know where this misconception is coming from that we are only doing this to sign players. No, we're not. The one thing, we're just building a better team alongside fixing our debt issues. That's what we have to realize. We're not spending 700 million on transfers. We've raised 700 million. Where is this misconception coming from? I don't know. Where
there's a lot of chatter out there, and this is why we always have to take all the media reports with a pinch of salt and do some digging, right? So, yeah, so I get it. I get the idea of what Barca are trying to do is what they call the flywheel, the idea of the flywheel, right? And the idea of the flywheel in business is the fact that if I have enough money and I invest enough money, I create momentum. The momentum generates more revenue, and that revenue generates more profit. That's the idea, right? It's like you have a car that's stuck, right? To get the car moving, what do? You get more fuel. Have the right fuel, air mixture, the car will move. That's the idea. Like a plane taking off. Now, for a plane to take off, you have to power the aircraft to get off the runway. So you need that fuel to get it done. It's what they had to do, frankly. And, good luck to them. But now you have to win. So my Barca friend, you guys have to win.
No, we don't. Why do we have to win?
Because the winning is also going to get you the revenue and the people coming to the stadium.
Again, that's wrong. This is what I said to Don Smoke earlier. Finishing first, second, or third in La Liga has no monetary difference in prize money. This prize money is the same. Let me just get into a semi-final of the Champions League, or get into the final, or winning the Champions League. There's maybe only 5 million difference in prize money. There isn't a big difference. It's just the one thing that you have to change is we don't have to win, but we have to compete. We don't have to win, but we have to be competitive.
That's fair.
Abdul, the thing is this, right? In the Champions League, right? The past few seasons, you haven't went far in the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Which historically you do, and then which boosts up your revenue, right? The thing is this: there isn't much difference in winning the Champions League or being in the final if you get there, right? But if you don't get there, there's a difference, right? there's a big difference. If you, like, for example, last season you didn't get out of the group stages.
Yeah.
Now, what you get for that and what you get for winning or being the runners up, there's a big difference, and that's been part of the decline of Boston in the past few seasons. You don't get to the knockout of these European competitions like before. So if by all these investments you've done next year, they have to translate into those kind of performances for them to be of substance. Else, you're back in the same boat as you were the previous season.
Again, I disagree. I'll tell you why I disagree. And you might think I'm stubborn, but last year Barcelona made 420 million losses.
Yes.
420 million.
Yes.
Getting to the final or winning the Champions League would not have made a big difference. We would still have been big in the red.
How much? Okay, how much? Okay, let's get to numbers.
I think
because numbers don't lie. How much?
I think that the key, I think what he's referring to is that, I think what we're both talking about is, it's not necessarily the numbers in terms of the Champions League, it's the way the fans feel.
Exactly.
If they don't win, right, and they're not winning or competing, the fans won't come to the stadium, which means that match day revenue goes down. If they're competing and they're fighting for everything, the fans will show up, which spurs their match day revenue, which helps them move forward. I think that's what he's talking about. I mean,
exactly.
Abdul, am I right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. The thing is, it's of course there's a big difference between getting knocked out in the group stages and winning the Champions League, of course. And I may be arrogant, but I don't see us going out in the group stages with this team anymore. Maybe we do, but I can't see it happening. And the reason why I'm referring to it is because Barcelona, yes, we've had a super team, but for 17 years in a row, we made it to at least the quarterfinal. So maybe I'm being naive, but the one thing I'll say is that as long as you're competitive, I think we'll be good. And when I'm saying competitive, of course, that doesn't mean going out in the group stages. If we're going out in the group stages and jumping into the Europa League, that's not being competitive, in my opinion. In my opinion, being competitive means challenging for the league every year and going at least to the quarters, if not semis, of the Champions League. And that's why, in my opinion, the whole Barca have to win for this to work out isn't true. Like, I just, especially they are, yeah.
I think you're taking the words verbatim, and when we're talking about competing, there's a ripple effect of not competing. If you saw last season when the saucies or the home fans sold their tickets to the sausage guys, right? The Frankfurt. That is Frankfurt. That is a ripple effect of the fans losing hope in what the club is doing. And you see this as well in your ticket sales. Now, the thing is this: on your way to the final, you're going to make money in ticket sales, the games, selling merch. There's a lot of things. It's not just winning the Champions League or getting it. No, there's a ripple effect that comes in not being there anymore. And hence, that's why you see most of the biggest clubs that have, for example, your Milans, they lost, especially international fans along the way, whereby they don't buy merch anymore. They don't. So there's many side effects to not being there anymore. And that's what Barca need in order to get revenue. It's not just about getting there and getting the money from UEFA. No, there's a lot of things that come with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people don't understand this, but the commercial revenue nowadays, it's more than TV revenue. It's more than TV revenue.
Absolutely.
So that's why, like, bro, like merchandise,
absolutely,
everything is so important because COVID ruined it. Like Barca, I don't know if you know this, but Barca, they have the museum. They make 150K a day from the museum on average. 150K.
I've been to that museum, man. I've actually walked.
Yeah.
I've been to that museum. I've actually walked the halls of the Camp Nou. And he's right. It's magnificent, and commercial revenue is what's driving a lot of the stuff going forward, which is why you see.
Anhad, how are you, Anhad? Go ahead, Vita.
Apologies, because I had to step away. I had to take the headphones off. But when you were talking earlier about, you've done what you've done lever-wise to then pursue this upcoming series of years to get back into it, and in all fairness, I think you were saying that winning isn't such a priority. You were mentioning about competing, but I guess my question is, whether it's with regards to Champions League, whether it's regards to La Liga, is there not a urgency to be one or two within La Liga, or even making it to knockout stages with regards to the Champions League? Because isn't part of the revenue that does come in based off of the club's like perception of success?
No, of course. I mean, but again, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying by competing. When I'm saying competing, I mean going far into the Champions League, competing for the league title until like the last day or the last week. Like the one thing people they fail to realize is that actually Barca have always been competing for the Liga. The only year we didn't compete for La Liga was last year, and it was horrific because in my lifetime we've never not competed for the league title until last year. So we always remain competitive in the league, but in the Champions League, let's be honest, the last time we were competitive was 2019. We haven't competed since, and it's not so much that we can get knocked out in the round of 16 if we meet like a super team. It's not that.
Quickly.
Yeah. It's not that much about that. It's also the feeling, going into the Champions League, having a chance, like thinking you can do something. Because, bro, I'm gonna be honest. For the last couple of years, I've had no faith going into the Champions League, and that's the one thing like Laporta's trying to do is to build the faith back up, and it's so important because when you engage fans, they are more willing to invest their money into the club. And that's the thing Barca have been lacking. Like, our shirt sales have been horrific the last couple of years.
Right.
Like, I think, I mean, to be fair, like, us producing horrible looking kits doesn't help either. But
yeah, the last year one was horrible. It looked like it's a plastic bag.
Right.
And the commercial, to your point, the shirt sales, there's a direct correlation with when the club is pursuing and winning. Like there's an energy with the fan base, and they want to get the jerseys because memories are now tied to it. So I hear your point.
Yeah. And that's why I think like the one thing I will say is that it always goes back to what's the alternative? What's the alternative? And
there is no alternative. There is no alternative.
The alternative would be not investing in the team, relying on young players, and hoping the likes of Depay and Eric Garcia can fill up the Camp Nou on a weekly basis, and that's just not happening.
So thinking and hoping that Xavi is Pep and he can do what Pep does.
Xavi's on my fraud watch, man. Xavi is not impressing me whatsoever. Bro.
Go on, Gundo.
No, I think what Abdul is talking about, if you listen closely to what he's saying, guys out there, he's making a good point. He's saying that it's not necessarily winning the La Liga or winning the Champions League. It's competing and playing good football that gets the fans excited, which generate the interest and bring fans to the stadium. That's why they've levered themselves to this point.
Gundo, to your point, the thing is this, right? The past few seasons, apart from Barcelona competing, they were playing horrible football, right? You must understand that certain historic clubs, they pride themselves on something. Like, even though we don't win, we enjoy the product that we're watching, right? For example, let me give you a Liverpool, right? Under Klopp, even though they didn't win as much as they think, or they delude themselves to win, they're there, right? They're at your neck, like
the Veda's friends.
Right, it's like they're there, and that it gives them hope to even continue supporting their team further and further, right? Whereby if you see a team that you love, first, the club is not being run well by the previous administration, and the football, the product which they're playing doesn't resemble what they stand for. Some people are like, no, we're not supporting this. And if you know like Spanish people speaking, they're passionate. And they don't shy away. They're not like you see like your English people. Normally they try to be like respectful. They won't tell you what. No, your Spanish and Portugal people, they tell you what it is. And if they don't support something, So I agree with you, Abdul. Like, hopefully your guys are gonna compete.
Peter?
Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna say, if you're hearing a Barca fan talk about, I just want the club to compete, I don't want to hear anyone in the EPL. I don't want to hear anyone in the EPL get vexed about another club saying we just want to compete. If Barca can say it, other clubs can say it as well. It's a transition.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all
Of
it is.
course, but you also have to be realistic. Like you have to be realistic. We don't have Messi and Iniesta in their prime anymore. Like the one thing I always say to myself is that I don't like run away with it. I don't run away with it. Like I always keep it real. And when I look at it, like there is no way Barcelona, this current Barca side, should be doing anything against Man City, or Liverpool, or Bayern Munich for that.
Wait. When are we meeting again?
We're meeting next week.
But it's like, and that's not
That fraudulence that has happened between there. We're gonna have to look at that fraudulence that's happening. When the season has started, let's go to Barcelona.
Wait. Do you think you're gonna play your best players?
nah. These guys won't do
I
that.
don't think so. If he does, if he does,
No, Patrick. If it does, this is considered as another lever that they're pulling.
I realize.
Yeah, you know what? I bet they'll do that so that the stadium maybe gets more packed than it should be.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
let's play all the stars, because I'm pretty sure
Concession
there's a
stands are
deal
gonna be
there.
full. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what Laporta said as a joke? He said, "Is Bernardo Silva going to be there?" Then Pep was like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm pretty sure everyone is going to be there." Like trying to say the stars. I'm pretty sure they made an agreement that show up with the stars. Maybe the first half will be stars, but I would be so disappointed. Touch wood, I don't want this to happen if one of our stars got injured because of this friendly they organized.
I don't think there's going to be any crunching tackles. I don't think that's going to be that.
Frank Casey doesn't care. Somebody just said my wife is English and she's passionate, so don't smoke. Somebody said that wife is English and so meant expensive, not passionate. Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, Barcelona reminds me of United after Fergie left. Wow. Let's go. Think City. So basically, the people are saying City is helping you guys out again. So guys, look, I'm not going to take long with this. I think now we have to head on to the space. There's a space at Bernardo Silva space we organized today. So Abdul, thank you very much for coming on, man. You've educated us a lot of things. I had my questions and doubts, but now I understand coming from Barcelona fan. Because from my side in Sobanta, I want to make sure that one of these big clubs, Barcelona, United, even Madrid, one day crashed down and we watched them burn down. But I can see that Barcelona trying to get themselves away from the trenches, and it looks like it's working a bit. What I can thank you for, Abdul, is apart from coming here, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Premier League fans for what you've done to Chelsea, the way you have embarrassed them. We have enjoyed what you guys did because it showed that your badge is heavier than Chelsea's. Chelsea were claiming to be UCL winners, saying they're going to use their UCL sign players, but it failed. So, Abdul, Gundo, and Veta, that's everything, man. And don't smoke. Everybody in the comments. Yeah, so thank you very much. Subscribe to Football Chillz Podcast. Subscribe to Veta Games. Subscribe to Pitch Points, and you can follow Abdul if you like his knowledge on Twitter. You can also follow John Smoke on Twitter. So, guys, that's everything we had for the day. There's nothing else. I'm pretty sure we have to mention it. We have to go to that space because I was part of the group. What do you say?
All right, bye.
Peace out.
It was just all right, bye. That's all.
All right, see you later, man. Good show again.
Yeah, cool, man. Thank you very much.